These are 5 tools you'll never have to buy again. A lot of people out there have a drawer or a shelf or a corner of their shop full of tools they absolutely regret buying. This video is the direct opposite of that. These are 5 tools you'll never have to buy again. Not in a year, not in 20 years, not ever. And just because they're buy it for life tools doesn't mean they have to break the bank. There are some hidden gems in here that are absolutely some budget bargains. Now before we get started, if you'd like to check out any of the tools that I'm going to show today, there's links in the description, the pinned comment. Of course, you can scan the QR code right there with your phone if you're watching on TV. It takes you right to my website so you can check out these tools. Now, some of these are going to surprise you. Some of these you might already even own. Let me know. Let's go. Now, a set of chisels is something that a lot of us pick up when we first start woodworking, and we wind up replacing 1, 2, 3 different times before we get a good quality set. Now, I'm not against budget chisel sets. I like this Cobalt set. I like the DeWalt set. They're very well priced for what you're getting. But if you really want to buy for life, you'll put those away and you'll pick up something a little bit better made. And there's a reason why these hold up longer and will last you for the rest of your life. These kind of tools you'll pass down to your kids and your grandkids because they're that well made. Now I'm going to give you 2 different options here, both made by the same company, both extremely good quality, but they are on different budget tiers just depending on where you're at in your woodworking journey. First up, the Narex Richter set of chisels. Now what sets a top quality set of chisels like this apart from the budget or the box store brands like Cobalt, DeWalt, that sort of thing, typically is the metal used in the chisel itself, because that's where the money comes in. You can get this cheap set and use them, but the problem is they're not going to hold an edge very long. You'll sharpen them, which they'll get razor sharp, and you'll start cutting with them, and after just a little bit, they're going to be dull, and you're going to have to resharpen them. That's what sets these apart. They hold an edge an extremely long time, and because of that, you're doing a lot less sharpening, and you're not wearing down the metal and that sort of thing, so you're going to be able to pass these down. Now, this set has a European ash handle, which is absolutely butter. I mean, it feels amazing in the hand. Now, I'm going to mess this up, but the steel is chrome vanadium. If I said that wrong, let me know. Instead of chrome magnesium, which you'll see in the just a step under set. What sets this apart and makes this the top tier set, in my opinion, is the fact of how these are made. After the initial hardening of this steel, they get cryogenically treated down to a negative 310 degrees using liquid nitrogen, which actually changes the steel at a molecular level. They come out of the factory at a minimum of 62 on the Rockwell hardness scale, which is much harder than most of the premium chisels out there. All that means is they just hold the edge. But what's pretty cool is they're not overly difficult to sharpen. So you're not having to work extra hard just to get a good sharp edge, but when you do get the sharp edge, they hold that edge for a very long time. Now all of these have a leather shock absorbing washer right there above that little stainless steel ferrule. What that does is it shock absorbs if you want to use these with a mallet, which is pretty cool. And of course you have that nice ash handle. I like the box set because it keeps everything nice, and because these are premium tools, it makes it feel a lot more premium. This set can run upwards of $250 or more in the box, but there is a set that's just a step under that that runs about $140-ish, $150, which is an extremely good set too. And that's the standard Narex bench chisel set. The blades on these are chrome magnesium steel, and they harden to 59 on the Rockwell hardness scale, so just under the hardness of the Richter. They're using hornbeam handles, brass ferrules, and steel tangs seated deep into the handle so they can take the real mallet work as well. Obviously there are other sets on the market like 2 Cherries or even Sandvik and probably several others, but I think the Narex chisel sets for where they're priced is the perfect buy it for life chisel set. Now when I first started, one of the reasons I avoided chisels altogether was because I was nervous and or scared that I couldn't sharpen them properly. Well, that has all kind of been solved with the G-Sharp Sharp Edge. I discovered this last year, and it will change your life forever if you've never sharpened a chisel or if you've struggled getting a really good edge, because this thing is dead simple to use. Someone who has never sharpened a chisel before can use this to get a razor sharp edge every single time. It's absolutely genius and very easy to use. If you'd like to check it out, I'll link to it in the description as well. Before we get to number 2, we would love for you to check out Outlaw's board butter. We make it right here at 731 Woodworks and would love for you to try it. All you got to do is head over to faithvalleytools.com. We sell it there on that website. That is our website, as well as wood glue and some other stuff you should check out. faithvalleytools.com. Grab you some Outlaw's board butter. I'd greatly appreciate it. Next up, layout and marking tools that you buy for life. Now, a lot of people think if you buy for life, you got to spend a lot of money. Now, there are some more expensive tools in this set. There's some very budget-friendly tools that they're just flying under the radar for a lot of people. Big Fat, for instance, this right here is a Swanson Speed Square. I have owned this square since 1995. That's 1995 me. Yep. So this square has been with me for a very long time, and I have used it probably more than any other hand tool I've ever owned. When I graduated high school, started construction, this is one of the very first tools that I bought because I needed a square. This thing has been with me all over the place. It's a fantastic tool, and it's under $10, which is absolutely mind-blowing. The incredible things you can do with this little thing, it's like there's tons of stuff you can do. I use it just to draw square lines as well as mark angles or even cut square, cut angles, all kinds of stuff. Just a great tool to have in the shop that you're gonna buy once and have for life, so long as you keep up with it and don't lose it. Next up on the budget tier list, Win makes some absolutely crazy good hand tools for a crazy low price. Both of these are T-marking squares. Obviously this one's a little bigger. You can get this in a bigger size as well. You can get this in a smaller size. These things are really useful to have in a wood shop to score square lines or to draw parallel lines, all kinds of good stuff. I'll drop a link to all of these obviously, but for the price, these things are just dirt cheap and they're dead accurate. I don't know what else you could want. And so if you buy a couple of these, I don't think you'll ever have to replace them so long as you take good care of them. You're not just chunking them around, stuff like that. It's not a hammer, it's not an axe. They're layout tools. Incredible value here. Probably one of the most shown layout tools on YouTube is the 1, 2, 3 setup blocks. These things are nearly indestructible in a wood shop. They're solid steel. Like I just damaged my workbench doing that, dummy. But this thing is, it's just a solid block of steel. But what makes these great for the shop, 1 inch by 2 inch by 3 inch. Perfect every time. So if you want to set up a perfect 1 inch cut on your table saw or 2 inch or 3 inch, or you can stack them together and get 4, 5, and 6 inch layouts on table saws and all sorts of stuff. Just a nice little tool to have. You'll never have to buy it again. Buy it for life pencil, right here. The Pentel Graph Gear 1000. I like the 0.9 thickness, or you can get a 0.7 thickness like this one is. If you want a little bit finer detail, I just tend to press too much on the 0.7 and break the lead a lot. But this little tool right here should last you for life. You just put new lead in it and keep using it. It's one of the most popular pencils I've ever shown, and for a lot of people, it's one of the most popular tools that they own because they use it all the time. Now if you want to step up into a little bit higher end layout tools, there's several options here I would absolutely recommend. First, iGaging makes these layout squares. They're very similar if you look and compare them to the Woodpeckers and the Jessam layout squares. I like all of these. They work extremely well. They all have their pros and cons, but mostly all pros here. Stainless steel blades on all of them. They have that offset base that lets you kind of lock in on your stock and draw any parallel lines or anything that you're going to want. Just really, really good tools here. So it really just depends on what you want to spend. This Benchmade set you can get at a reasonable price. They are a little higher tier than say the Win and stuff like that, or quite a bit higher tier there. And then you can step up to something like the Woodpeckers or the Jessam, made in USA, made in Canada. So it just depends on which way you want to go here. All of these are extremely good, buy once, never buy again type tools. Now if you're a fan of made in the USA tools and real accuracy, extremely well made tools, and you need a set of squares, these are the ones I like. This is the 1282 and the 642 from Woodpeckers, both stainless steel blades. And what I like about them is you can lay these on a piece of plywood or a board or anything like that. And because of this blade that runs down the shoulder here, they don't fall over. So you can score lines, you can lay everything out. Overall, I use these probably more than any other squares in the shop, minus maybe these triangle style squares, which I do tend to grab a lot. Or one of the most useful tools any woodworker can own is a combination square. These things are wildly useful. You'll find a ton of uses for them, whether that's setting blade heights, bit heights, or just laying stuff out. Woodpeckers, wow, this one is wildly expensive, wildly expensive. It's one of those tools that I bought, and at the time, stomach sank a little bit because of the price. But over the years, I've had this a couple of years now, I like this thing a lot. I think it's an incredible tool. Yeah, it's pricey, but I don't regret spending the money on it. And there's a lot of tools that cost a lot less than this that I actually do regret spending the money on. So this is one of those that you're going to buy it once, never have to buy again. Next on the list, a good quality table saw. Buy once for life. How's that possible? Well, if you look at the history of people who buy good quality tools, a lot of times you'll see, especially if you go to Facebook Marketplace or estate sales, you're going to see some very old table saws, the cast iron tops. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, they don't make them like they used to. And that's probably true. But if you take care of your equipment, it should last you for the life of when you're going to be doing woodworking. A lot of people get into woodworking in their 30s, 40s. A table saw should last you 20 or 30 years if you're using it right, and of course you're maintaining it properly. Now there may be a part or a piece that wear out here and there, but the actual tool itself, functional tool, should last you the lifetime of what you paid for it. I think if you're looking at top tier table saws, you're probably looking at SawStop, Harvey, Powermatic. There might be a few others listed in there, but overall, if you spend the money on a good quality table saw, it should last you for the rest of your life. Conversely, when a lot of us start out, including myself, we wind up buying a job site or a contractor style saw, which is perfectly fine. I'm not saying you can't do that and that you shouldn't do that. I actually think most people would be better off starting off with those style saws because it gets you into the game. Because to get a SawStop or a Harvey or any of those high-end brands, it's going to be several $1,000s when you can pick up the perfectly good skilled table saw for about $300 and get to work and then start making money with what you're producing. I think that's a good way to go. But I also think that a skilled table saw is not one of those buy it for life tools. It's a buy it to get started and grow over the next several years, most likely. But most people aren't hanging on to those for 20 or 30 years. They're using them while they need them until they can get to something bigger. It's kind of the stepping stone up into the cabinet saw if you have the space and the budget, or even the need for it if you're producing a lot of stuff in woodworking. Number 4 has been under your nose this entire video and you haven't even noticed it. The mighty Workbench. It's one of those build it and or buy the materials to build it for life tools that you're not going to have to replace, because once you build it, you should be able to use it for the rest of your woodworking life. You can also look at workbenches like Sorsberg or Penne that have the standard woodworking benches that you can buy. You can buy those for life. That thing should last you for the rest of your life. Something like this though, I built this workbench myself multiple years ago. There's actually plans on the website. I'll drop a link in the description. But this is a massive 4-foot by 8-foot workbench. And the reason I built it this big was because when I was assembling furniture, I didn't want one leg to be hanging off on I previously had a 3-foot by 5-foot workbench, and I would get like all the time, need extra space. So I wanted a really big workbench. Now I built this workbench with 16 drawers, 3 pull-outs for parts, and 2 big storage areas right here behind me, plus a place for my dust extractor to go. So this workbench was built specifically for what I wanted and I needed. You can obviously modify it as you see fit. A couple of things I wish I'd have done different when I made this workbench. First, I put T-Track in it. At the time, T-Track was the hottest thing on YouTube, so I thought I needed T-Track as well. The problem is I rarely use the T-Track hold downs and stuff like that just because it was a little bit cumbersome, and it was just because of the way they were spaced out, just didn't seem to ever be in the right place when I needed a clamp. So last year I upgraded to this grid system from Microjig. It's very, very easy to do. Piece of 3/4 inch plywood, I just screwed it down to the existing worktop, and then I just used the grid router guide to create this pattern, and now I can clamp anywhere. Plus there's tons of different accessories that you can use to do layout if I needed a perfect 90 degree, or clamp in any position that I need, or even parallel or horizontal clamp so that nothing's sticking up. Overall, one of the best upgrades I made to the workbench. But I built this workbench for life because I knew that I wanted a big workbench and I wanted to keep this for the rest of my woodworking days. So having a really nice, solid workbench that you can trust, that you can build upon, it's just one of those things that you're only gonna have to do one time, and you should keep it for the rest of your life. Now this tool is, you're gonna buy it for life, for your family's life, or anybody that's inside the shop or coming in and out of your shop. It's for their life too, and that is proper dust collection. Now, the tool itself might not last a lifetime, but it protects your life, and that's kind of the point of it. And that's dust collection / dust extraction. Now, I talk about this quite a bit because in the beginning, when I started woodworking, I didn't think anything about it. I was just cutting wood and sanding wood and just woodworking. But over the years, I have come to learn that how important dust collection is. There's a couple things here I'd recommend. First, you got to understand the difference between woodworking dust and sawdust. Sawdust is the mess you sweep up at the end of the day and you throw in the trash or however you dispose of your sawdust. Woodworking dust is the dust you can't see. When you're sanding and that fine particle dust is going into the air, you see some of it, but a lot of it you don't because it's so microscopic small. It's just very, very tiny. And that gets down into your lungs, that settles into your lungs, and it never comes out. And that's a problem because that can cause cancer and all kinds of other respiratory issues, especially on various types of wood. Some types of wood are actually toxic as far as the dust that's coming off of them. So you want to make sure that you're collecting that as much as possible to be safe. I first recommend a dust extractor for most people. You don't have to spend $1,000 on one. If you look at the Hercules dust extractor, it's a HEPA filtration, so it's filtering down to that microscopic small particles. Obviously, these aren't cheap. Even the Hercules cost over $350. It was $350 when I bought it a few years ago. Now I think it's like $370 or so. they're not cheap tools. You have to think about the cost versus the risk, right? And so that's how I think about them. I really like the Festool line of dust extractors. I've got 2 of them. One right here, as stated earlier, one under the miter saw station, but I also like Milwaukee's dust extractor. Any dust extractor that gets HEPA filtration is one that you should probably be looking at. And if you can't do that, look at getting a HEPA filter for your shop vac at a minimum. Then there's also air purifiers. I have one sitting right up here. It's a Laguna Supermax air purifier. That helps just pull the dust that's in the air out. It has 2 different stage filters in there. Although I don't think that's HEPA filtration, if I'm not mistaken, but it does help get some of that dustiness out of the air. Main thing, dust extraction, or even a good respirator that filters out that fine stuff. If you can't get a dust extractor, the respirator will be my next step. I want to hear from you. What is your buy it for life tool? Something that you may have bought that you think that your kids or your grandkids will one day inherit because it's that good of a tool. Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If this video is helpful to you at all, please click that subscribe button if you haven't already. The most of you that are watching have never clicked the subscribe button. And I know because that number is not going up. Please help me out. Click the subscribe button. Otherwise, if you want to check out the next video, click that box right there. Click in the box, get you the big old virtual fist bump. Seriously.